Hello there, Dan the Weatherman here. Hey, welcome to my weather show. We take a look at the weather for New Zealand for the coming week. We're still talking high pressure, but we're just getting the hints of the change. We're getting closer towards the equinox and some cooler air from the Southern Ocean for some of us as well. And heads up, late week, we could see some wetter weather for the upper North Island. And we start off this week with a swirly low just sitting east of the North Island. That could bring some wetter weather for Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. This is how we look, and you see the lumps of yellow. Those are the more active areas of clouds. Streamlines show where the main jet stream is. This is a swirly, that's a cut-off low that's crept in as our bubble, our area of high pressure, the upper high from last week, has drifted away, that pink area. So this week, main jet stream stays to our south. We start off with high pressure, and that little swirl of blue just comes close, brings some wet weather, then goes away, and we put our eyes down to the far south and west. That creeps in, and you can see the big swirl of blue there. By the end of the week, an upper low, and what that does, it helps squeeze out some moisture, squeezing out the moisture from the clouds with another bubble of quiet red upper high. That means quieter weather down south. So what does it all mean? I'll show you in just a sec. When we look at the surface map, high pressure to start the week over the South Island. So the week is looking pretty good. Remember that swirly low? That's the guy there. He's giving an easterly flow and spells of rain for Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. Auckland, right the way down the west coast, you're fine, otherwise dry. Small risk for a shower. Now by Tuesday, that low is still there, still pumping in some rain, possibly heavy at times, but compared to several days ago, this low doesn't look nearly as mean and as intense. So it's just a spell of rain before the thing disconnects. High still there, but then this blue line there, that's a weak front. That'll hit the far south. So places like Invercargill, Dunedin, Tuesday morning, grab your raincoat. That'll be a spell of some wet weather, and Southern Ocean air behind it. That will then track in for what's going to be Wednesday. And take, for instance, to the far south. Dunedin start off the week at 19 or 20. By Wednesday, 13 degrees for your high. Further north, most of us seeing upper teens to, say, lower 20s. Notice that low, still there, drifting away, but the easterly flow still flicking in showers, and what's left of that front gets close to the upper South Island, so it's a grey, drizzly start from, say, probably north Otago, Canterbury, as you start off Wednesday. Far north, probably otherwise okay, but just keep your eyes on that little area of blue there. That could be another little upper trough and also a little low forming. By the end of the week, it looks similar, doesn't it? New high is getting closer. There's bits like messy, almost like sort of need to clean it up with a sponge. Showers in the easterly flow, most of them eastern parts of the country, not as much further and north and west. By Friday, it looks similar, doesn't it? A lot of high pressure. Now, this is pretty much La Nina, but we're just starting to see more oomph in the systems from the Southern Ocean, and that's what I mean. Just watch for that in the coming days and weeks. That becomes a more organised area of wet weather, so it may end up wet for Northland and Auckland by the time we get to Friday. That low's gone away, just some showers east of the North Island, and by next weekend, heads up for your raincoats. Could use them for much of the north of the country. That could be some useful rain. And if you remember that circle of blue, that was an upper low. That helps to just enhance the low and squeeze out the moisture. So it could be a wet next weekend. Northland down to Tauranga, high to the south, keeps you otherwise fine and settled for the end of the week. But just keep an eye out for some changes, maybe a little cool surge hitting the far south of the country as we go into, say, maybe the next 10 days. Rainfall-wise for the week, wetter weather to the east of the North Island. That's, of course, with that low that starts the week. Where you see purple, where you see red, 50 to perhaps 100 millimetres of rain, particularly in the ranges. And then this blob of colour here, see how that gets down to Northland and Auckland with that late week low. If that does come in and develop, that could put you into a good, moist, rainy northeasterly, which could bring you some really useful rain for, say, the upper North Island, where it might be 30, 50, maybe 80 to even 100 millimetres of rain. We will see what happens. Down to the far south dry, that little area there could pick up to the foothills of Canterbury, perhaps 20 to 30 millimetres. But notice, the further south you are, otherwise quiet and drier with the area of high pressure. But hints of the change, we slowly lose La Nina. We still have the highs, but of course with that, hints of some cooler weather heading our way in the next couple of weeks. That's the weather for now.